Hello fellow Star Wars fans, my name is Star Raptor and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a very memorable video on the channel because I'm doing an unboxing which I haven't done for a while now, and I couldn't wait because I had to do it on this brand new toy line from Jazwares. This is Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron. It's kind of a riff off of the 90s Micro Machines Star Wars action fleet. Same kind of concept. You have these tiny, couple millimeter tall little action figures that go into a really cool, nicely detailed ship that has a lot of playability. So we're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to, of course, bust these open, see what kind of playability and what detail they have in these brand new action figures. Let's check them out. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go through 6 different releases for Series 1, aka Wave 1, of Micro Galaxy Squadron. Now there's more action figures in this line than what I'm showing today, but these are the ones that I found in my local stores here in New Jersey. I know they are slowly rolling these out. You can get some on Amazon now, but without further ado, let's take a closer look at the packaging. This is the iconic TIE Fighter, as we all know. Taking a look at the back graphic here, it's pretty nice because you have some original artwork, I believe, of just X-Wings and stuff trying to destroy the TIE Fighter, but we have, you know, clearly labeled here Micro Galaxy Squadron, and we have a nice little bubble package for everything in plastic. I know Hasbro is getting rid of these pretty soon, but I guess most companies probably aren't. What's important is the detail in this little TIE Fighter pilot. You see how tiny these guys are. This is to scale. All these Micro Galaxy Squadron ships are to scale, which is what the big thing for me, what to get these guys was for. The big inclination, the big interest. We also have the like nice little label of what they can do, right? Okay, you can open up the hatch and go in there. So pretty cool. All right, so turning this around, this is where the really cool stuff is, right? So it shows us exactly the action that we can expect here. We have the blueprints, pretty neat design. This is a blueprint that you could actually cut and keep as a kind of memorabilia, and it's pretty neat because it does have the Arabesh in it as well. So nice little details there. And just like any old good toy line has, it shows you a preview of what you can expect for this exact light armor class. So light armor class, I'll be showing you guys the Starfighter class, I'll be showing you guys the Assault class. So this is all the light armor class type vehicles. You have an ATST, you have Assaj Ventress ship, but what is really cool about this line of toys is they have chase variants like you would expect from like Funko Pops, and they show you exactly what they are. So you have a white TIE Fighter, as well as the Marauders ATST, which does actually come with a Tatooine Warrior, as opposed to the ATST driver. So this is where the real appeal, I feel like, is going to come from this toy line, is going after all these chase variants. It's like one of 15,000, or some of them are one of 5,000, so pretty cool stuff there. And here we're going to continue along, and not only do they have original trilogy content, they have content from the prequels, specifically the Clone Wars. So we have Assaj Ventress here. We have a dark side user. They even modeled her with red lightsabers, which is really cool. It shows you the cockpit action. We have, again, another nice piece of artwork in the back. It actually showcases the Jedi Starfighter, which I will get to in a few minutes here. We also have the Series 1 label, so you know exactly what you're getting from this line. And this one actually has the nice little launch edition logo for collectors. That's going to be a nice feature there. On the back side, as you would expect from the TIE Fighter, we have the actions this thing can do. So in the Clone Wars, you see how it has that fan shape there, so pretty nice. And we also have the blueprints as we've seen on the other one. And again, this is the light armor class for this Micro Galaxy Squadrons. This one is called a Kinnevex Starfighter. Okay, I've never heard of that. Kinnevex or Ginnevex Starfighter. Interesting. Okay, not only do they have Starfighters in this line of toys, but they have walkers, they have ground vehicles. We have a to scale ATST with the ATST driver. Pretty cool stuff there. Again, another really cool piece of art here in the back. You actually see, I think, a troop transport, which is another thing you can buy, which I couldn't find in my local Walmart or Target yet. Again, this line is not even completely launched yet. If you go on the website of Jazwares, they don't even have a Star Wars section yet. Okay, so looking at the actions this can do, swivels 180, nice, and it's got that 3-point of articulation, so you can model this how you would like. The blueprint looks pretty cool there, so I'm excited to see this thing next to some of the other vehicles I have for Micro Galaxy Squadron. And here we're moving on to the Starfighter class, another prequels vehicle here. We have the Jedi Starfighter, one of my favorite designs. This is the Ather Sprite Jedi Starfighter specifically. We have Obi-Wan, we have R5, pretty freaking cool. And we see it does come with a hyperspace ring. They went that far to bring us a hyperspace ring. And on the bigger size models, you have the nice little artwork on the side there. On the back, what do we have? We have a hyperspace ring that it docks in. That's so cool. Your droid can actually just like pop out. I guess there's a certain action. You got the blueprint here. Let's take a look at what is also available in the Starfighter class line. We have X-Wing. I will show you that later. Do not have the TIE Advance. We have Luke Skywalker's X-Wing from the Mandalorian, which I believe comes with like the Luke in the black outfit, which is sick. And this is so cool. There's a chase variant for the TIE Outrider that comes with Moff Gideon with his Darksaber, I believe. So, oh man, I've seen some people online have that already. The thing is really cool. And here we go. This is the classic X-Wing. Now, I have the original Micro Machines Action Fleet variant of this, I believe. So maybe one of these days I will get that out and compare it. But this looks so cool. Again, you have that piece of artwork in the background there. You see all the TIEs flying towards it. Really cool stuff there. But R2, I like the detail again in the pilot. They go so far to make this little tiny guy have that much detail with the visor and everything else. Shows the cockpit opens up. On the side here, you have a nice little dogfight. Great artwork there. On the back here, we have the actions it can do. It has the S-foils can lock in attack position. Of course, you have the R2 droid that can pop out the top, and you have your blueprint right there. And this is why I considered getting into collecting this, because look how beautiful this Millennium Falcon looks just in the packaging. I can't wait to take it out. But this thing is massive. Just the box itself is so much larger than anything else, as you can imagine just by looking at this, comparing it to the other things. But the front of the box does show you a couple more things. For instance, it has lights and sounds. The back lights up as it moves. You have different kind of sounds that go off. You have different pieces you can take off, like the antenna, like the gun. You have not 2, not 3, but you have 4 different characters that come with this. Han, Leia, Obi-Wan, Chewbacca. Just great stuff right there. On the side, you have some nice artwork there. And on the back, it shows you, again, all those different features. You can even take the back off of this thing. It's pretty much just like the old school Kenner Millennium Falcon, but just shrunken down a little bit. You can take the cockpit apart, and there's actually 4 spots. There's landing gears and everything else. And of course, you got your blueprint. But what's cool about having this Assault class box of the Millennium Falcon is it does show you the entire Series 1, not including the chase variants, but the entire standard line of these different ships and vehicles. So we have the light armor class, which includes the TIE Fighter, the Givenek, or whatever it's called, Assaj Ventress' ship, the ATST. Then your Starfighter class has the Jedi Starfighter, has the X-Wing, has TIE Advance. There is another section of different ships I didn't get, which is a transport ship for the Imperials. But then you also have the ships like the Slave 1 and the Razor Crest, which are all the Starship class. So lots of cool things to look out for, but I think we've waited long enough. Let's take these things out of the box and see how cool they actually are, the playability, the detail, and everything else. Here we go. Okay, so I do want to show the process of actually unboxing these and how easy it is to do. So what I like to do is get my thumb back here, just kind of bend it a little bit without causing too much damage, and just get it so that your thumb peels away that back portion, because I do definitely want to save this part here to, you know, for collecting purposes. Okay, that wasn't perfect there. As you see, there's a little bit of the back ripped. That's okay. But here we go. It's packaged just like that. Should be able to just pop out the fighter. Maybe have some resistance. You do have your little figures here. Your R2, your Luke. They come in a nice plastic bubble here. All right. Let's take a look at Luke. Or it could be just any generic Rebel pilot. So hard to kind of focus on this, but it's so tiny. I think that's where the problem is. There we go. So 2 points of articulation. You can move their arms in conjunction, and their hips. So that's all you really need to know. What Jazwares wants to do with this line is basically focus on the ships, not as much on the people. So as long as they're vaguely recognizable in the cockpits, that's all you really need to know. Got to be kind of gentle with the ship because, there we go, kind of popped and released. So here's the X-Wing, huh? So here we go, we can lock S-foils in attack position. Oh, very nice. I like the weathering on this. You can see little darkened spots here. You can open up the cockpit like so. There we go, we can put Luke. We could put Luke inside there. Those arms a little bit. Fits nice and snug. Close up the cockpit, put R2 in there. Cool thing about R2 is he has that little droid popper. It's an easy way to get him out. You just push out and he goes on his little elevator upwards. And then let's look at the landing gears here. Is that as far up as it goes? No, there we go. And you got the two on the fuselage here. They could be a little stiff the first time you get them. I noticed it from the other ships we had. And then there you go, lock it up. And there's your X-Wing. But as far as the playability, as far as how it feels, this ship at least has a little bit more sturdier feel to it. It is very light. I mean, it's light plastic for sure. So, you know, it is for kids, but I could see them maybe busting a wing off, you know. But again, looking at the detail, I like how they have the thrusters are blackened. There's enough detail in there to really have some fun with playing with these, and interactive parts of it where you can lift up that cockpit, you know, get the landing gear, get S-foils in attack position. Like that's just all what you need right there, right? Fun stuff. Let's take a look at the other ships. Here we go. We have our Jedi Starfighter here. Nice detail, right? So you have our Republic logo right there. You have our little R2 unit here. Tiny little guy. They have no articulation. They do not move. The legs do not move. But just like for our Rebel pilot, aka Luke, we do have a little miniature of Obi-Wan. It did a pretty good job with the beard and all. Again, you can only move the legs, the arms, but then you can pop them in here. It's a little hard to pull that open. And we can look inside the cockpit there. Pretty cool. You could drop them in. You could drop your little droid, your little red droid in there. Again, same thing as the X-Wing, a nice little easy option to push them, easier to get out of there. You do have your landing pads here. Landing gear, I should say. Interesting thing is, okay, it's working now. Before it wasn't balanced enough to actually go on the front landing gear there. And a big cool feature with this is our Hyperspace Ring. This was kind of a pain to get into and kind of a pain to get off, and I'm afraid that, you know, a kid might be a little rough with this and end up kind of breaking it. See that big snap? Okay, it's insecure now, but it's holding in by like a little button. But this thing is awesome, right? I mean, come on, this thing flying around, woo, just going around, hyperspace jump, go. You know, just a lot of playability with this thing to come up with some really fun action sequences when you're playing with this. Okay, sticking with the theme of Clone Wars and the prequels, we have our Assaj Ventress vehicle here. What's really neat is it comes with a stand. So a ship like this is not going to stand on its own. So the Micro Galaxy Squadron comes with stands for some of these. So pretty nice there. We have Assaj Ventress with her lightsaber. So I'm hoping that we do get another character, hopefully like a light side character with lightsabers. Maybe we'll get an Anakin Skywalker. They should have given Obi-Wan a lightsaber, honestly. if they were going to do this with Assaj. Like I said, I think Moff Gideon does have a dark saber here. But anyway, we're going to put her in this thing somehow. And it does snap, so that's nice. And here's the playability feature. Boom, and you can modify the guns. So there we go. We have this really cool fan-shaped. You can use this as like a generic smuggler ship or something if you're role-playing with this, playing around with it. It's just a really neat design, and it's cool that we have these designs in this actual line of toys, giving credence to the Clone Wars, the prequels, everything else. The design of the ship is cool, the playability. I just wish it was maybe dinged up a little bit more. It looks too brand new, too plasticky, because, you know, it just looks like it's fresh off the assembly line. I would have liked to see some kind of like weather damage here or something. But other than that, it's a pretty cool design that we don't see enough of. Moving on to the legendary TIE Fighter here. This classic TIE Fighter LN, or whatever you want to call it. You could actually take off the wings. And, you know, just have some playability, like pretending it got shot by an X-Wing or something. You could snap this on just as easy. I guess it goes a certain way, actually. There we go. And then we have our little pilot here, our TIE pilot. I think this one looks the best out of all little characters. There's such detail in this little TIE pilot. The chest plate, even logos on the helmet. That's crazy to me. You can open up the hatch here, and even in the hatch, there's a great amount of detail for the architecture, the design of like the chair and the nav computers and all that sort of thing. This closes up, and then you could also, for whatever reason, take this thing down so it goes like 90 degrees. I guess if you're trying to repair it or something, that's the engine. For some reason, there is a button here. I'm not sure what that does. And I don't like the idea that there's like text back there underneath. It takes you out of the experience a little bit. Next up, we have our ATST. I mean, this thing looks tiny, and it's actually the right size, I think, for the most part. What's neat is you could take off its mortar cannon here. It's a little rubbery feeling, so that's nice because it won't break as easy. You could even take its head off. You could pretend it got shot by the Falcon or something. Its head just completely comes off of it. Other than that, it's fully articulated. So you can go ahead and you could actually move its legs and everything else if you really want to. Or just stand it up. You could actually move the gun as well, aiming at the sky, whatever. You have your little ATST pipe, very cool. Again, this is all the detail you really need, but it's enough to really sell the experience of playing around with these little guys. And of course, two articulations. Getting the hatch open, I realize, can be a little bit challenging as you see me struggling to get this open. I guess a good way of trying to get it is just hitting the back and it pops up. Now, if you look inside here, there's really like enough room for two people, so it is canonically, I guess, big enough to get, you know, two miniatures in there. Close them up, and there you go. You have your little Micro Galaxy Squadron vehicle. I can't wait to see more walkers come to the game. Or not the game, the actual play line. I think of these things as games. And here we go. This is what we've all been waiting for. The Millennium Falcon. This thing is awesome. It's got some weight to it. I love like how large this thing is, and I will compare sizes as soon as we go over everything. So everything from the landing gears come in, top in, and I like how they synchronize both sides. You even have the landing pad there, boom. That'll go back up, and then you open this up. I know Obi-Wan's kind of taking a nap, so he's lying sideways, but there you go. You can have up to four characters in there. Pretty neat. I do not like how this cockpit does not snap. I've had a few occasions already where I was flying this thing upside down, this thing popped up and my figures went flying out. So be aware if you are buying this for your kids, you might have them crying saying that they lost their Obi-Wan or somebody. So yeah, unless you know, they can modify this in the future, that's definitely something they have to do. You have your turret here, which completely moves around. And this is the thing that sold me right here. And this is awesome. And the fact that this entire back comes off just like the Kenner playset. Inside, you have all that detail. You even have enough detail to pull this out, which is your, whoop, there goes Han. So Han, this is another feature I do not like. I wish there was a better way that they could have designed getting somebody inside the gunner platform, because all you really do is unless there's another way that I don't know about it, you just like throw them through the opening, and then you spin this, and then they're basically set in there with that circular design. But as far as getting this oh yeah, there we go. So we can actually put somebody in there just like you could in the old toys. So we can just go, all right, you know, Chewie, he's gonna hide in there. We're gonna get him in there. All right, and this goes this way. And you could hide some little figures in there, just like that. Pretty neat, right? You even have a Dazark table, so you can have somebody, you know, somebody going around that, just chilling. If I can pull them out now, Leia feels like she wants to go in the back seat. No one's gonna no one's gonna pilot the Falcon now. But I think Obi-Wan wants to just chill and check that out. So we got him just sitting over here, chilling. So there is so much playability with this thing, and I freaking love it. Like, this is so cool. Yeah, there are things that it could be better. The quad turret could be better as far as putting that in. The cockpit, I wish it closed better. But here's what's really cool. So we can go ahead, close this up. Very easy to snap back on. And yes, we do have lights, sound, and action. You press these buttons here. It still feels like it's not closing all the way. There we go. Okay, now we're set. So you hit these back buttons. That'll turn off your lights. It takes 3 AAA batteries that do not come with the actual ship, so be prepared for that. But oh my gosh, and it's motion controlled. So you see, I'm controlling it. You hit that middle button. You're going around, just boom, 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 boom. Such great playability. Such a nice, big design. Even like a 4 or 5-year-old would have no problem swinging this guy around. Even having another ship in your hand as you're flying around, right? I can grab my TIE fighter here, and we can go play to our heart's content, right? We can go around. We're coming in, you know, so a lot of fun stuff here. Let's compare sizes. We're going to put everything out on the table and see what they look like all together. So there you go. That is just some of the ships, the figures, but the scale. I put the little X-Wing pilot Luke. Look at how small. I like how he does stand on his own. That's a very important feature. A lot of these Black Series Hasbro figures do not stand on their own. So the fact that Jazwares was able to create these little characters to be able to stand on different things, different surfaces, well, maybe not so much the Falcon, but if you put him on flat ground, he has no problem standing on his own 2 feet. And there we go. But you get to see the scale of these ships, right? This is what really sold me on this line of these action figures. Is I'm a huge fan of the ships, and the fact that we're having Clone Wars ships, original trilogy ships. Hopefully they bring in some stuff from the sequel trilogy. We have Mandalorian stuff coming in pretty soon. There's so much potential for all the releases that Star Wars has had over the last 45-ish years at this point. So I'm very excited. Talking about the price points, based off what I bought here on the table, we have the light armor class. They go for about $12 US. You have your Starfighter class. They go for about $16 US. And the Assault class, aka the Millennium Falcon, goes for about $45. This wasn't all. There are these blind boxes that you can buy, which come with one little figure and like some kind of speeder bike or a speeder. So be on the lookout for those. I've been looking vigilantly, even online. I can't find them unless they're overpriced on eBay. So again, this stuff is rolling out in the month of August. On the East Coast, at least, there are some on the shelves now. So be patient, but you can buy a couple of these things, such as the Millennium Falcon, on Amazon, and I think Target.com also has them. So I am very impressed with these line of ships. I think they are perfect for the price point. They have the playability that you would desire. They are a little bit brittle, so be careful, because I do see that some of these things could be broken with some rough play, but they are great opportunities to have creativity, to play with these as I did as a kid. And you know, I'm 30, but I'm 32, I'll probably be playing with these things every once in a while, just taking them off the shelf because they look so darn cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make room on the shelves, that's right, because I don't have any more room, guys. For more on Micro Galaxy Squadron and any other Star Wars needs of yours, this is the channel to be at. I have lots of book reviews and other things that are Star Wars that aren't toys and unboxings, but it's been a while since I've done an unboxing. Let me know how I did in the comment section down below. Are you looking forward to this new toy line? Will you be collecting it? Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. Be sure to like and subscribe. That's good to for me, Star Raptor. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.
Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Star Raptor.